Hello, how is everyone today? I'm hopeful that a few people will be joining us. We'll give a couple of minutes, try and figure out, make sure this technology is working because it doesn't normally like to cooperate at the start. But I think today's subject is so important. And even if you're watching it at the rebroadcast, I just want to tell you today is super important. And the work world we've worked in since 2020 has been disruptive, and it's anything but stable, and it's not safe. It's not what it used to be. One day you're sitting in an all hands meeting and everything is fine. And then the next, your badge doesn't work. So I just want us today to stop pretending career health is a luxury. It's not. It's not. It's survival. Because I think if we raised our hands on this broadcast, pretty much every one of us needs to work. And if not needs to, we want to. So being in survival mode right now, let's just get that out in the open. Because I think everybody knows me. I'm Dr. C, your work doctor. And on this particular episode, I'm talking about you've lost your job. Now what? Because I've had so many people in my family, me, myself personally, we have all been affected by loss of work, loss of income. So let's talk about the moment that this happens. You're not prepared for being let go. And the way they're doing it now, you guys, I've been let go from jobs. I've been asked to take opportunities with other employers, and I've had to survive. So I know a little bit about this subject, not only from a coach perspective, but also from the fact that it's happened to me repeatedly. And I've had to get up on my feet. I've had to deal with the shock. The first thing going, what just happened? What did I miss? What do I do now? So, the first thing I really want you to think about, if this is you, and even if you lost your job a while ago, or you just lost your job, I want you to think about a 48-hour mental battle. I want you to reset the clock if you lost your job a while ago, but I want to help you process this shock because a lot of people don't do that. They fall into an abyss. They fall into fear and hopelessness and desperation and what am I going to do with them? So I want you for the next 48 hours not to make decisions. Just give yourself a breather. I don't care how desperate your situation is. You will not make quality decisions in the first 48 hours after job loss. Even if you have to restart this process, it's for your good. Because I want you guys to know, few of us deal with this particular situation well. I don't know very many people who can lose their job and recover without a bunch of trauma and drama. So now is not the time for you to act, but I do want to help you strategize. And I want you to give yourself a 48-hour mental battle to deal with the fact that you lost your job, you lost your source of income, And you can get spooky spiritual, talking about Jesus is your source, but I'm here to tell you that yes, that's true. But if he was just going to drop money down into your account, you would not need a job. You would not need to work, and you could pay your bills based on your faith. Now, I do believe the Almighty will add his super to your natural, but you're going to have to cooperate with them. And you're going to have to get from being stuck in survival mode and desperation and emotions to strategizing. That's the only way you're going to get through this. And this ain't a normal time for you to be out of work. I will wholeheartedly stand 10 toes down on that statement. This ain't normal. What we're experiencing isn't normal. There is a shift. Things are changing, and they're not going to go back. Stop waiting for it. It ain't coming. It's not going to happen. And so many of you are stuck there. You're stuck there. And today, I want to help you move. I want you to think about something. I'm going to introduce some concepts to you that are going to confront your beliefs. Okay? Did you have a false belief of job security? Did you absolutely think this would never happen to you? Here's a thought for you. Your employer is not responsible for your career health. They're not responsible to keep you marketable and keep you able to work without them. That responsibility belongs solely to you. And if you let yourself get comfortable and you thought, again, this won't happen to me, or my job is secure, or the company's doing well, it's secure. Please don't think that, because companies are counting on your fear of losing your job to keep you working despite a burning bridge underneath you. Now, this is not to vilify companies, because to do that, you have to vilify people. And there are good people where you work. There are bad people where you work. I don't care where you go. That's going to be the case. So don't vilify the company, but just take personal accountability for how you show up for an employer. You cannot shut your brain off. You cannot not be bold and self-preserving and career health minded. I don't care what happens to you past this point. It's up to you to stay marketable and to stay employable. So get that into your mindset, okay? The buck stops with you to be able to work, not a company. And again, you can be spooky spiritual, but I've had jobs knock on my door. I used to say a job's not going to knock on your door, but I've had that happen to me before. So I'm not going to say divine things will not align, but you cannot depend on those. There is required of you faith with action, faith with doing. Faith without works is a dead faith. So if you want to be spiritual about it, please pray. But also know you got to look for a job. And I want to submit to you for your second thing to believe. Normal advice isn't enough in this job climate. in this work climate, in these corporate structures that we all are seeking work in. You can't follow the normal advice that's been passed down for generations. You can't just update your resume and hit the job boards. That ain't gonna work. Okay? It will shatter your confidence and drag you to the depths of despair if that's your response to losing your job. To properly respond to the climate we're all in, you can't rely on traditional things. You can't rely on traditional advice you've had in the past. Okay? Normal advice isn't going to cut it. So anybody telling you freshen up your resume, hit the job boards, let me tell you something. There's so much scamming out here right now. There's so much going on right now. Hey, sis, welcome. And there's so many things out there to wade through on job boards that it's exhausting. And let me tell you something. I've applied for over 1,000 jobs during my joblessness to get 1 or 2 interviews. It's happened to me before, even with a doctorate. Even with a doctorate and 15 years of experience. 1,000 applications. And these companies these days, they're scanning them by AI, and then they're either calling on you and it's a popularity contest or it's a who knows you contest to get the job. And now, those of us that are people of color and women, people of color, because Black men are losing their jobs at a high rate as well. But Black women, yes, we've been losing our jobs at a very high rate. And traditional advice will not help you. Networking, getting out of your comfort zone, calling people, going to companies, resume in hand, going to events, resume in hand. And I'm not saying paper resumes. You may want to do that. But I'm saying have a digital resume they can simply download by QR code on your phone at these events. Anywhere you go, you're still looking for work. I want to tell you this wholeheartedly. Don't try traditional methods to find work right now. It won't help you. And yes, I know I'm being hard, but I have to shake people out of this apathy and this, why won't things just go back to the way they were? They're not. I don't think they ever will. We have transitioned from a manufacturing era of work where, there's still always going to be a need for trades. And that's something you can do. I always have a trade to fall back on. Some of you that have known me for a while, I used to work in the beauty industry because even though I was going to college, my parents taught me, always have a trade, always have something you can fall back on. I've cleaned homes because I can clean real well. I've decorated homes because I can decorate well. I've made money like that during times of unemployment because, one, I'm not too proud. Oatmeal beats no meal, my grandma used to say. So if you see me at McDonald's in this job turned down, if I have to resort to that, mind your business, because homegirl's working. She's putting food on her table and she's putting gas in her car and she's paying these bills that don't care about your joblessness. Rent don't care. Mortgage don't care. Car payment don't care. Gas and grocery bills do not care about your joblessness. Now pray for favor, and you can. I know I'm right, sis. I I don't know what people think. And then the other thing, besides the other advice I gave you about job searching, please apply for your unemployment benefits. I know it's a hassle. I know it makes you feel some kind of way. But let me tell you something. It's your money. They take that money out of your check every single month. So if you need it, if you need income, and no, it's not a lot, but oatmeal beats no meal. So apply for your unemployment benefits. Go get you some money that you put aside in the government system in order to sustain yourself with joblessness. They also give you resources. You have job boards and classes and trainings and all kinds of things. So take advantage of those things and realize, again, I'll say it for the final time and then I'll move on. Normal advice right now isn't enough. Non-traditional job searches are not enough. You need to freshen up your methods. Like I said before, it's up to you, not your employer, not the government, to stay employable, to stay hireable. That's on you. So start with these things. Start with informational interviews. Reach out to people at companies and ask for 15 minutes of their time to talk about their company and the work they do. I did that a lot during my joblessness, and also when my contracts ended with the government suddenly, and I had to pivot back to working. I started with informational interviews. I hit my LinkedIn list and I called up people that I knew would have a conversation with me. And you can cold call if you're brave enough. Now's not the time to be scary and prideful. Now's the time to look for work. And people don't mind if you approach them well, be professional, be respectful, ask for no more than 15 minutes, have your questions written down, ask them, thank them, and then send them a thank you afterwards. The good old things that I'm telling you are just plain manners and respect. Okay? So do that. The second thing, build a content trail. Share your voice online. Do a couple of videos. Just don't be prideful. Post that you're looking for work. Yes, don't be scary and prideful and make people think you got it all together, girl or guy friend. If you're without work in this job climate, you better get to work. Looking for work is your full-time job. Okay? So build a content trail. Put your voice out there. Talk to people. The other thing, collaborate. Don't just apply for work. Look for where you can solve problems. Okay? Ask for help. Take advice. Take advice from people like me. If you showed up to listen to the things I'm saying, kudos to you. Even if you're just supporting me, but you're hearing information, I hope you will share with people you know that may be out of work. Now's the time for the village. We've got to help each other. We have to realize we don't need to be prideful. Okay? So collaborate. Don't just apply for work, collaborate, talk to people, put your voice out there. Start with informational interviews. Interviews companies as hard as they will interview you to present a job to you. You have to do all the things. And then also use your niche communities, church, the grocery store where you go, gas station where you fill your car up, food restaurants that you go to. You don't know who knows somebody that can carry your name and your situation to the forefront and help you out. I have had jobs show up at my door because of a conversation in a grocery store. I've also had that happen because of a conversation at Starbucks when I used to go to Starbucks. I'll go to Scotty's now. Just like I don't go to Target no more. I don't go there either. Anyway, I'm getting off track. I just want to assure you, being bold enough to market yourself is required right now. Having guts and grit, taking ownership. Like I said earlier on, you are responsible for you being hireable, for you being able to go get work. You've got to be able to do what most people won't do so you can get what most people won't get. Okay? Here, my final point. The price of truth. I just said this to someone who lost their job. You are going to find out who you really are in this situation. You're going to find out the price of integrity and truth. Under pressure, it's going to cost you something. Like I told you, I had to lay aside pride, clean houses for friends. These were people who knew I was a doctor. But they were willing to pay me $100 to clean their house. And I did it for months while I looked for work. You have to lay aside your pride, but still be courageous and bold and sure of your value and your worth. Sometimes you have to do a job while you look for a job. And how you do that job could be the key to your next exposure. Hear me well when I say this situation is going to teach you who you really are and what you really value and what you really believe. You're going to be tempted to get grimy because that's the climate out here right now. These people will do anything for a buck. And they're running buck wild in these streets with money. So I believe all of that has a conclusion. I believe we're coming to an apex and it's not going to go the way they think. The people who think they have the power. I truly believe that. But take ownership. Find who you really are. Stop a downward spiral. Stop feeling bad about losing your job. Stop being down on yourself. Pick up some guts and some grit and some courage and market yourself. If you want to start a business, now let me tell you this, because I'm hearing this a lot. Now's the time for you to start that business. All of y'all are not meant to be entrepreneurs. You're not. You're a worker bee. And there's no shame in it because us entrepreneurs who are built for that life, we're built for it. You're not. You need work. You need to work for us, but don't trick yourself into thinking you're an entrepreneur. Now, I love multiple streams of income, but that's why I have a term called employedpreneur. Get you a job. Most of y'all, I would venture to say, very, very few of you are built for entrepreneurship. Some of y'all need them benefits. Some of y'all need that every 2-week paycheck in your account. I love it. I mean, I've gone back to corporate work after 10 years, but it was because for me, it was the right opportunity that allowed me to do the work I love doing. But I still have multiple streams of income that my eating and paying bills doesn't depend on. Not until this administration is gone, if it ever leaves. Either way, we're going to survive this. We're going to survive this. So I don't want you just to chase a quick fix. This may take you some time. I've got a friend who's been out of work for 2 years now. I've seen posts repeatedly, and they're all Black women who have been out of work for over a year or more. I'm telling you, the things I'm sharing with you are from my heart because I have a ministry of reproof, correction, and change. I've always had that. It's just how I come across. You may not like it, but now is the time for me to confront. That's why I'm back on here. I was content on the bench because I haven't done this for over a year. I needed a break. I did it for 5 years straight. It wore me to a nub because people are evil out here and lots of just intrusion, witchcraft, people coming for me, all the things that discourage me. But now's not the time for me to sit on the bench. The Almighty called me back up. So the things I'm sharing with you are challenge to you. It's a challenge for you to start building from truth. I'm sharing the truth with you. Hear me. It's not a normal job climate. The things you've done in the past to find work are not going to work. It's up to you to be marketable and hireable and be a problem solver for employers out here. There are jobs, and you may have to work 2 jobs. You may not find that cushy 6-figure position doing exactly what you have a degree for. And those jobs that if you get a job, how you work that job, let me tell you, I believe in seed time and harvest. How you show up for that employer, how you commit to that employer could be the open door for your next job. That is the 6-figure job. And then finally, I want to say it again. All of you are not cut out for entrepreneurship. You're a worker bee, and there's no shame in that. So don't let somebody talk you into doing something you know isn't your wheelhouse. Find you work. Use some of these tips. Do the informative. Well, go back and listen again. I'm not going to repeat it again because some of you getting this information delivered to you the way I'm delivering it to you is going to be a get off your hiney moment because I've given you the information. I'm telling you the truth. I am trying to help you, but you got to help yourself. You have things to do. Please don't fall into despair. Don't be ashamed because you lost your job. You now know what comes next. You do these things I've introduced to you, it will help you. I promise you. I promise you. Now, I do want to say this. Nothing I said belongs to any company other than my own, and it's just my professional opinion I'm sharing to help you. It is not to be taken for emotional, mental, or any type of medical advice, which people are kind of taking things that they run with things they hear on social media. But it is good, solid advice that will help you. Just know this. I'm sure call your work doctor. I know career health is important right now. I gave you tips on how to have career health, how to build that. I hope you'll take the advice. You can reach out to me. I do free 30-minute consultations to decide if we can work together. But yes, there is a fee for my services. I know my worth, but I can help you. You're so welcome, sis. And share this with anyone. I'm here to help. You can't just wallow in the fact that you've lost your job. If you've lost your job, anyone listening to me, listening to the replay, there is hope. There is help. Take the advice, what works for you. And I'll see you next time. I'll probably share some more on this. I don't know. But just take the advice, okay? It'll help you. Have a blessed rest of your day. Bye.